Hi, my name is Syndey Malone, and my presentation is called Wave After Wave. Since my freshman year at Kickapoo High School, I have been involved in the Kickapoo University program. And the Kickapoo University program has provided me many opportunities to experience the real world. During the program, we're required to complete 3 job shadows. In completing these 3 job shadows, I found out that I never want to become a hairstylist, a veterinarian, or a lawyer. But my internship experience was completely different, and it allowed me to dive into the world of mental health counseling. When you lose someone important in your life, grief is the natural response. Grief is like being stuck in an ocean. It comes in waves, and it is in charge. Some days, the waves almost seem bearable, and you can hold your head above the water. But other days, you're being tossed and turned, and it's almost impossible to even fight back. While being in the internship program, I became involved in an organization called the Lost and Found Grief Center. The Lost and Found Grief Center provides free grief counseling for the children and adults of Southwest Missouri. I started off just helping around the office and setting up for the nightly group therapy sessions. But after speaking with one of the co-founders, Dr. Karen Scott, she granted me the amazing opportunity to become involved with the children's group therapy sessions. I was allowed to attend 2 separate groups. One of the groups was ages 4 to 6 years old, and the other group was ages 7 to 10 years old. And as I was attending these groups, I started wondering to myself, I wonder why Lost and Found was created. So I decided to go out and get my answer. I ended up speaking with one of the co-founders, Mr. Sean Askinosi, and he gave me my answer. Sean lost his father at the young age of 14 years old, and he remembers feeling lost, alone, and afraid. And he remembers having nowhere to go to feel normal, loved, and accepted. And that's why he wanted to create a safe place where anyone could go for support through this tough time. But he mainly wanted to cater to children in order to make sure that no child ever felt the way that he did after losing the most influential person in his life. And since opening their doors in 2001, Lost and Found has helped thousands of people with no money out of their pocket. In my research, I found that children and teenagers have the hardest time understanding grief and processing their emotions. And the way that children understand the concept of death solely depends on their age. So children ages 2 to 4 years old don't understand death, and they don't realize the permanence of it, so they ask questions like, when is he or she coming back? Children ages 5 to 8 years old tend to think that emotions have magical powers, but these children need to realize that just because you wish hate upon someone or use hurtful language does not mean that they're going to lose their lives. Children ages 9 to 12 years old are absolutely terrified of death. Once they lose their loved one, they're afraid of losing everyone else around them. But teenagers are much like adults when it comes to understanding death. They completely get the concept of, when you're gone, you're gone. But just because they realize this, doesn't mean it makes it any easier for them. No matter the age of the child, they cannot grieve alone. Children need guidance and support. Without it, they could process their emotions in unhealthy ways such as aggressive behaviors, regressive behaviors, and suicidal thoughts. At Lost and Found, we do not teach that there is a right or wrong way to grieve, but we strive to make sure that children are processing their emotions in healthy ways that will allow them to carry on with their daily lives. We're also teaching them that they need to be outwardly speaking about the way they feel on the inside in order to make sure that they don't feel trapped inside of their own minds. We teach children at an age-appropriate level how to grieve by going through the process, but also growing as an individual. No child can ever heal or recover if they're not able to address their feelings, mourn the loss in a healthy manner, and turn around and make a meaning of the loss. After gaining permission to ask the children a few questions about how they felt about Lost and Found, a shy 6-year-old little boy pulled me aside from one of the groups and proceeded to tell me, "The group I am in makes me not feel alone." And this is exactly the response I was looking for. This is why they do what they do. This short answer makes you realize that there is a difference being made. These children are retaining the information that we are teaching them, and they're using it throughout their daily lives. They benefit from this program, they need it, and they depend on it. After being asked multiple times where my internship was and answering the question, I came to realize something. The Lost and Found Grief Center is not as well known as I blindly believed. And this saddened my heart in knowing so because I know how many people need help. So the problem is, what is Lost and Found? Well, my solution to this problem is simple. I want to get the name of Lost and Found out there. There are currently a couple of posters around Kickapoo High School that I believe no one even realizes are here. But I created posters for the entire Springfield public school system, and I created 2 separate posters. One poster is aimed towards the elementary and middle schools, and the other poster is aimed towards just the high schools. So the elementary and middle school poster is full of color and it catches the eye. But the most important aspect of this poster is the peer testimonies. The reason that these are so important is so that these children know that when they come to Lost and Found, they'll be put in a group with children their age going through the same things that they are. And this reassures them that they won't be alone through the whole process. The high school poster is full of real statistics, such as 1 in 20 children will experience the death of a parent before the age of 20. Teenagers with unresolved grief issues are 5 times more likely to die by suicide. And children with unresolved emotional issues are 9 times more likely to drop out of high school. And the reason these statistics were so important to add is because we need to be aware of what our peers are going through. People need to know that this is a place where anyone and everyone can come to be surrounded by constant love and support. Children cannot grieve alone. No one can grieve alone, and no one should have to. I will personally strive to make sure that when someone loses a loved one, the first thought that pops into their mind is the Lost and Found Grief Center, where we provide help, hope, and healing. The Kickapoo University program allowed me the amazing opportunity to become a part of something bigger than myself and my problems, and I'm forever grateful for this experience. I learned that grieving is completely unpredictable, much like an ocean. Some days the waves are tossing and turning, and it's impossible to even fight back. But some days you can hold your head above the water. But during this tough time in life, the ocean is in charge, and all you can learn to do is swim. Thank you.